Hey guys, how's it going? It is Kara here with another Diablo Immortal video. And in today's video, I got 4 things you need to know before class changing here in Diablo Immortal. Okay, so for the first tip, it's going to be about your cosmetics. None of the cosmetics I bought transfer over. So this is one of the ones I had, the Crystalline Echoes armor. And look how it says requires class Barbarian. That was my previous class. This one was the Season 1 Battle Pass skin that you get, requires class Barbarian. Kind of a bummer, especially the Battle Pass ones, because we have no other way to get it. It'd be nice to have an option to have this. I really wish they would just unlock it for every class, but very important to keep in mind before you actually make the switch. The next one is going to be about your set items here. So how this works is when you switch over, every single piece, it just snapshots your pieces as a Barbarian, in my case, to a Demon Hunter. It takes the main attributes here, so the Vitality, Willpower, and Strength, but it also takes the magic effects here. So primary attack, critical hit, damage increase, stuff like this. And then it also doesn't reset your bonuses from the Blacksmith, which is nice as well. The only thing you're losing is going to be the legendary effect of the previous class. So of course that's not going to switch over. And you get that gear moved over into your inventory, so if you ever go back, you can re-equip it, which is also really nice. The thing I want to talk about though is these set items. So they do the same thing. They have reservist, see reservist ring, all that stuff. But what they do is based on if you are an intelligence class or a strength class, it can lock you out. And if you switch from a strength to a strength class, you will have all of your set items in the inventory and you can just re-equip them. But if you go from a strength to intelligence or intelligence to strength, you will not be able to re-equip them. You're going to need to refarm all of them. Some people that switch, like in my case, Barbarian to Demon Hunter, was totally fine. I was able to get all of my set items back day 1. You got 2 Mountain Banks here, and then I got 2 of the Vithus Urges ones here. But if I went to a wizard, for example, I wouldn't be able to equip any of these. I would just have the reservist gear still with no set effects. So it's a big deal in your consideration to be able to switch, and just know that the grind is going to be extra long if you're going to go to an intelligence class when you were strength, or a strength class if you were intelligence. Okay, so the next tip is going to be about your legendary effects. I'm pretty sure most people are expecting that they weren't going to keep their legendary effects. It wasn't going to just transfer over. I wish it did, but it's not. It's a whole new regrind that we're going to need to get all this credit for on the new class. But one thing to keep in mind though about this is that not only are you going to need to refarm all the legendaries, but you're going to need to refarm the gear that you currently have, because odds are you were equipping your best gear. So you're going to need to beat your previous best gear and then put the effects on there, because you can't actually put the legendary ability in this shop on the reservist gear. So if I try to go and inherit, I have one available for my weapon. It just goes only legendary gear can inherit essences. So I got to also replace this gear and get the right affixes to be able to extract to then put on gear that I'm wearing now. So it's just a little bit extra of a grind there. It's not, the end of the world, but I figured you should know this because it's going to be a pretty big grind here to get back to full power. Because if you want to actually have legendary effects, you're probably going to have to lower your stat requirement, because unless you get really lucky and every time you pull a legendary, you're upgrading your gear or getting equivalent gear, but that's difficult to get all those exceptional drops to happen. So it's going to be a little bit longer than normal to be able to come back. You might have to dip below in power, get some effects, then finally come back up again later on when you get lucky and roll some more exceptionals. Then that leads me to my next thing. This is the final tip, is going to be about your main stats here. And of course, you actually lose your Paragon tree. You just got to respec it. So if you feel a little weaker, it's because your Paragon tree is gone. You just need to put all your points back into it, however you want to respec it for your new class. Also, there's been a visual bug that I've seen on multiple videos discussing this, is that your main stats like damage and life are like half of what they should be. It's fine. It's just a visual bug. But just reset your client. Right when you do the class change, reset your client, come back in, and you should see your normal stats. They should be a little lower because you don't have Paragon tree. You put the Paragon tree in, you're good. It's not actually a glitch. You're not actually that weak. Just, it's a visual bug. Don't worry about it. Reset your client. You should be able to see it. So those are the 4 things you should know before class changing. Let me know if you guys are going to be actually changing class, or if you're happy with the current class you have. And with that, guys, I'm out of here. Peace.